Yo, yo, yo. Happy Tuesday to the folks out there. We are here live. Your favorite Misfits are back. And if this is your first time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are the greatest tag team in the sports entertainment industry. I am the PG Mykell Mathieu. That is my guy, five-star Eric Lambkins II. And we are here to talk sports, culture, entertainment, politics, whatever you need, we got it here with the Misfits Live. So let's get right into it. I'm here with my guy, Elam. How you doing, brother?
Yo, yes, I'm bright, I'm shiny, but no, you look at this skin. You see me shining out here. But what's up, world? You know who it is. You were tuned in to the tightest tag team tandem this side of the galaxy. We are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. Now, listen, we got some stuff to discuss. We got some champions. I was with some New Yorkers, but we're gonna talk about that. Jalen Brunson, where does he fit? We got the World Cup here in North America. We might talk a little bit of politics and sports. Should we shut up and dribble, or is there an opportunity and a place for sports and politics and the First Amendment? You know that's near and dear to me. But before we begin, hey, if you're not liking, if you're not subscribed, go and hit like, subscribe. I'm telling you, you're not gonna find anything like this on the internet. We are journalists based out of Los Angeles, credentialed media. This is not just a whole bunch of fans with sports opinions. I would tell you to Google me, but it's all type of stuff you would find if you do that. But Kels, what we got lined up first?
Hey, they will know why you five-star E if they Google you. So hopefully that if they do it, they'll learn some things about you, my great sir. But let's get right to it, man. You talked about it. Whenever I see the orange and blue do something good, it's a positive for me. And we saw that with the New York Knicks winning the finals for the first time in 53 years. Some people were born 53 years ago and were like, the Knicks will never win a championship. But here they are. They won the championship Saturday night. I picked them in 6. They won it in 5.
I had them
taking care of business. Had them in 7. Yeah, a lot of people. It's so crazy because a lot of people, when I was saying 6, they thought I was nuts. Like, well, you see what Wemby is doing. But I'm not all the way sold at this moment that Wemby is just that guy, especially on the offensive end. But it's not about them. It's about the Knicks. Jalen Brunson. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Say Wemby is not that guy. I don't know what
on the offensive end. On the offensive end,
he's arguably the most skilled big man in the NBA. You could put Joker in that conversation, but he's top 2. Like, he's no lower than that. You're not gonna find another big man that's more skilled than Wemby. But he's young. He's immature. But listen to me. The reason why the Spurs lost is because De'Aaron Fox screwed the pooch. He played like poo cheese, man. It's De'Aaron Fox fault, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Wemby did a lot of good things. Mitch. And I told people, this is the crazy part. I tell people all the time. I said, when the playoffs come, we get to really see who can coach and do their thing. And I was like, I give the advantage to Mike Brown. I just felt that Mike Brown has been there before. He has won as an assistant coach. He was there as a head coach with LeBron many years ago. And I felt that the Knicks would have the advantage there. And that's exactly what you saw. Like, Mitch Johnson was crazy for not going to Dylan Harper. I would have said, De'Aaron Fox, you're coming off the bench. Dylan Harper is playing better. And that would have gave them a better opportunity, but he just wasn't good enough. So for Wemby and those guys, I wouldn't put their head down too much. They lost to a team that was better coached, more veterans who has been in the NBA, and they just stepped up when the stakes were the highest, and they went on a hell of a run. But just to see that, Elam, the series to end the way that it did any of that surprise you at all?
Yeah, man. It was surprising that the Knicks were playing 6-on-4 because De'Aaron Fox, he might as well have donned a Knick jersey. And the crazy part is Mike Brown got fired for critiquing and criticizing De'Aaron Fox when he was in Sacramento. One thing people don't really know about Mike Brown is he is a very detail-oriented coach, right? There isn't too much. He literally has binders on players, like what their tendencies are, what spots they like to get to, their strengths, their weaknesses. So when you couple that with having coached a player, you've been able to intimately work with them, see how he ticks, his late game management. Mike Brown already knew if De'Aaron Fox is in the game, we got them exactly where we want them. So at no point, at no point during this series did the Knicks panic. Down 29, we still in the game. Down 10, we got them right where we want them. And the crazy part is, Game 5, I was with a collection of Knicks fans for a basketball party. We were out in New York. When I tell you, all day that Saturday, all we did was talk about this game. Like for them at least, they were like so excited. And of course, I had to put on my journalistic hat. There's a story to TST about this experience. But yo, man, like De'Aaron Fox, for him to be the vet on the team and for him to play the way that he did, being a vet isn't about the amount of time that you've spent in the league. It's about the amount of experience that you've been able to accumulate. De'Aaron Fox is not a vet. De'Aaron Fox did not play like a vet. Dylan Harper played like a vet.
De'Aaron isn't a vet when you look at playing in big time games, right? The Kings didn't win anything when he was there in Sacramento. They were just a team playing regular season games that didn't matter at all until Mike Brown was there, got them to the playoffs. But even then, they didn't have a long run. So to see him show up like that was very disappointing. It had me looking at him like, man, it looks like De'Aaron Fox has lost a little bit. Like he used to be swiper, like extremely fast, extremely explosive, get to a spot to where he was a lot to handle, and maybe the injuries and things like that kind of got to him. That's why I was really disappointed in Mitch Johnson because, hey, you have to make the adjustment. You see your guy is not playing up to par, and this young kid is coming in and playing good basketball. You have to make the switch at some point. And the fact that he wasn't willing to – what happened?
I'm not finna let you, take him off the hook and blame Mitch Johnson. Basketball IQ is a very real thing. De'Aaron Fox showed that he does not have a high basketball IQ.
Nah, he showed in that series that he had people walking away like he sucks. I don't know if you're looking at online, but the new term, Elam, for ass is like, damn, Shawty got that D Fox right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, man, like you play terrible, bro. You D Foxing out there. Like that has become a punchline that I've seen on social media, and that lets you know how bad De'Aaron Fox stunk it up out there for the Spurs. And it's disappointing because if you would have told me before the series, hey, yo, Dylan Harper is going to, underperform, or Stephon Castle, I would have been like, okay, I understand it. But not your guy that's paid $1 trillion to be one of your top two guys. All-star. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He should have been competing with Jalen Brunson, trying to get a finals MVP, but instead he shrunk under the moment and he looked like he still wore a Sacramento King jersey. And I say it all the time. I tell our guy Grant and Beeve, our Clipper fans on the show, that, hey, sometimes you wear a certain jersey and that stink stay on you. And it looked like the stink of the Sacramento Kings stayed on De'Aaron Fox and he underperformed. And that's why the Knicks were able to take advantage. And shout out to the Knicks, man, because 53 years, right? They felt like me, right? As a Chiefs fan, where the Chiefs, it took 50 years before they won again, where some people were like, I thought I would never see them do it, and the Knicks did it, so shout out to them. But, hey, we want to shout out their guy, Mr. Finals MVP, Jalen Brunson.
Big body.
Talk about it, me. Big body.
Big body Brunson. The MVP of the NBA Finals. Dude was on an absolute tear. And the thing that I loved about Jalen Brunson was for 3 quarters, he kind of managed. There were some games where, like specifically game 2, where he labored through. Every 4th quarter, dude showed up. It was something about that 4th quarter where Jalen Brunson went from a pumpkin to a Lamborghini. So it kind of begs the question. It's a 2-parter. Now, you laughed at me last year when I said this. Is Jalen Brunson officially a top 5 player in the NBA? And it with the NBA victory and the NBA MVP, Finals MVP, is Jalen Brunson a top 50 NBA player of all time?
I'm happy you mentioned this, Elan, because it is a topic that I was hoping that we discuss, because I believe that it is a sickness to sports conversations today more than any time we've ever seen it. But recency bias is terrible for sports.
But I thought you were the person that said you had to see it first.
No, I do have to see it first, but a top 50 player all time, I got to see more than one NBA Finals run, right? The guy hasn't even had
Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is a top 50 all time, and he got none.
Yeah, but Charles Barkley,
he got none.
Charles Barkley has an MVP award. He has many years of first
Patrick
team.
Ewing doesn't have either.
No, Patrick I know, but he has all NBAs. The man doesn't have. Jalen Brunson doesn't have one all NBA first team at all. Period. In his career, he's only a 3-time All-Star. The reason why I say is recency bias, and I hate it. Let guys' careers go on before we crown them. He can get hurt next week working out, to prepare for the next season and be done. Are you going to be saying he's a top 50 guy? No, you're going to be like, oh, his career was cut short. So I just want to see the guy career go on and on. Like some people coming out saying, oh, he's better than Iverson. He's better than, I'm like, Iverson was dominating.
He's more skilled than Iverson. I think he's more skilled. I think AI was more dangerous. I think AI
never played with a team as stacked as this New York Knicks team. And Jalen Brunson, they took advantage of him.
He could have took a pay cut. He could have.
Bro, they weren't even making money back then. They weren't making money back then.
Again, it all boils down to what you value most. Do you value getting the bag, or do you value winning rings? Personally, give me the hardware. Give me the ring. That's what I want. Because everything else, I'll get the endorsements later. And even more than that, it's only so much money that I can spend in the course of a lifetime. So, $100 million versus $70 million. Yes, I know it's $30 million. That's life-changing money for a lot of people. But when you factor in, I play in the largest market in America, and we win a NBA championship. This hasn't been done in 53 years. Listen, I've already I've already made up whatever money that I would have lost from the contract in endorsements in New York.
Yeah,
hedge funders. People are going to find a way to give me that 30 million again. But Jalen Brunson, again, I have him in the top 5. You are the man that's always talking about, oh, I have to see it before I crown somebody. This is why I say you can never be a prophet. You gotta refer to something that's already happened. Lambkins is here to tell you. I told you last year, Jalen Brunson was coming. His moment was coming. You said no.
Now I'm not just going to give him all the credit, because it was the Knicks taking advantage of, first of all, an Eastern Conference that came up a little smaller than we thought. Right? They had some issues with the Hawks, then they knocked them off. We thought they were going to play Boston. Boston comes up short. They sweep Philly. Then Cleveland underperforms. They sweep them. And then they get the Spurs instead of OKC. They just took advantage of other teams' hiccups, and, they just played well. So shout out to Jalen Brunson.
Were the top 2 team all year?
No, they were one of the top 4 teams. They were the what? What seed were they? The 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference? So, if you're the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference, you got Oklahoma City, you had the Spurs, you had the Lakers on the other end, you had Boston and Cleveland who were in front of them. So, yes, they were looked at as a top 6 team, but they just got hot at the right time. Like, this playoff run really reminded me of the Dallas Mavericks run to the finals. But the Dallas Mavericks went against much tougher teams, right? They had to beat the Lakers. They had to beat young OKC. They had to beat LeBron and the Heatles in the finals. But they just took advantage, man. 16-3. I can't make excuses. Is Jalen Brunson top 5 player in the league right now? Of course you have to say it. He's a champion. Who you got? Wemby, SGA, Jokic, Luka, and then it'll be Jalen Brunson. He'll be battling there with Ant and Giannis, but a lot of these guys got to be healthy and have to show us. But I think he's there. I'll give him credit for that. Of course, I respect the small guards. I was a small guard all my life, so I love to see it.
But you weren't balling like this, though. You weren't taking over like this.
I had a little bit like this. I was more of a playmaker, but I can go get buckets with need be. But I want to talk about this top 50 player thing because I just think people are jumping the gun as far as crowning somebody top 50 ever. Elam, we've been watching this game for a while. It's top 75 now. You know how many guys that he will have to jump over? And I know, and this is so hypocritical about a lot of NBA talk, right? It's because a lot of NBA talk is because, a lot of people, when they look at LeBron and Kobe, they're like, oh, man, he just has one more ring. But one ring, have you guys talking like Jalen Brunson is jumping over all these guys.
It's not that he just has one ring. It's the mere fact that he's the finals MVP. To be top 50, the first 25 names that you could name all have rings. All of them have been a finals MVP. Starting with Mike, LeBron, Kobe, Hakeem, Bird, Kareem. Like, we can name the top 25. All of them are finals MVP. When you get closer to the top 50, that's when you start looking at like Clyde Drexler, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley. Jalen Brunson has a finals MVP. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you say that. I don't care if you say,
would you put him above Karl Malone?
Karl Malone never won. Karl Malone,
the longevity of greatness, right? The longevity,
just like that argument. If you're going to use the longevity argument, it's a slippery slope because you, my friend, are Mike is the GOAT person. So if you bring longevity in, you're killing your own argument.
No, because we're talking about something different. That's a guy who has 6 championships, 5 MVPs, right, and a Defensive Player of the Year. Jalen Brunson has no regular season awards. He got hot, right? Like, it would have been crazy.
What are you talking about? He got hot. Him and
his team.
He came because they wanted him. They built around him.
But I'm saying, as far as the championship, of course he was amazing, but it was so close to going another way if OG, right, Anunoby was able to do some things. Like by game 4, or I say game 4, people were like, oh, OG might win this finals MVP. But then Brunson has the big closeout game, and it was like, you got to go Brunson because he's the guy. So that's why, I need to see more of his career before I put him over guys like Iverson, Malone, Barkley, who were able to be all NBA guys for 11, 12, 13, 15 years, which is really tough.
On one hand, so you talking out of both sides of your mouth. On one hand, you're saying you need longevity, but in other arguments,
you got to be great. You got to be great. No, I consider longevity.
Winning a finals MVP is not great.
No, that's now name the rest of his resume.
He's been all NBA player.
Has he?
I
don't think he has. Has he? We gotta research that. I know he's been a 3-time All-Star, but I haven't seen him.
I want to say he was second team this year. He was second team.
Yeah, we research.
That's still all NBA. That's still all NBA right there.
True, but he hasn't been first team like an AI who's done it multiple times and was the MVP, meaning the top guy in a year for 82 games in a season, like Karl Malone was able to do, Charles Barkley, things like that. Like I'm gonna give Jalen Brunson his praise because what they did was remarkable, but it wasn't just him. The team stepped up.
You make it seem like they lucked their way into the NBA Finals. They beat who was in front of them.
I know, but they beat
they went 12 games, 13 games in the playoffs without losing. You act as if they just showed up and everything magically happened. Jalen Brunson showed up every single time.
It low-key did because they were able to first of all get a Philadelphia team who only had Embiid one game. All right, get them out the way. then whenever you get to play James Harden in the playoffs, you lucked up because his team is going to sneak it up because he is going
had a
to
better
sneak it
record
up.
than them. The
I know,
Cavaliers
but
had a better record than them.
Hey, Elam, did you pick Cleveland to win that series? I do not trust James Harden, and I love my guy out of Bond Middle School, but I know when the playoffs come, James Harden become Lames Harden, and that's what we saw, and the Knicks took advantage of that.
Listen,
and you know,
if that series were played in the strip club, then James Harden would have been, you know what I'm saying, the MVP. He would have showed up.
Way.
I wasn't worried about Cleveland, right? It's Cleveland.
Okay.
Like who cares about Cleveland?
I picked the Knicks to beat the Spurs. So I was like, if they play OKC gets them out in 6 games. But I was like, yo, they're gonna beat the Spurs because the Spurs were younger. I expected them to make mistakes, and Jalen Brunson.
But I'm not gonna sit here and let you say that the Knicks just looked into this like they just showed up for one game and you know they hit they hit the Giants. I mean, they hit the Spurs with a little Giants. Like, no, they had to grind and claw their way through,
of course,
you know, several series to get to that point. Wemby didn't, you know, just lay down. Like, if anybody messed up for the Spurs, again, it's De'Aaron Fox. But the Knicks had to play so connected, right? We always talk about chemistry, right? And how far that's able to take a team. The Knicks had something that no other team outside of OKC had. And OKC had to deal with injuries. Guess what? The Knicks, they were relatively healthy when it counted. Furthermore, this is the first team in NBA history to win 2 championships in 1 year. They won the mid-season tournament.
Right? Elam, I didn't think you were going to be that guy.
They get a double portion on their championship banner.
So they should put their in-season. Hey, they should put their in-season tournament banner up, right?
It's not like the Knicks are accustomed to winning championships. For the Lakers, that's one thing. But for the Knicks, why not? Put both of them up there. You've done something that no team has done.
Hey, so for you, like that one championship puts him over Patrick Ewing as the greatest Knick all time. Because I'm still I need to see
easily.
Yeah. Wow.
Easily.
Yeah, I need to see more because what if they win this championship and then they don't get out the first round the rest of his career?
When you think about Patrick Ewing's in the playoffs, you know what you think of? A smoked layup.
One play.
Okay, name me another championship moment of Patrick Ewing. Him getting dunked on?
He played against MJ. Nobody was winning. Then he played against Dream. Nobody was winning.
Making all these excuses. You sound like you getting ready to convert to the Church of Braun, bro. You making all these excuses. Did he win?
Yeah. So you taking Brunson over prime Dame Lillard?
Dame Lillard was never a Knick. Are we talking about you just asked the Knicks?
No, I know that that's the like it's Walt Frazier, it's Willis Reed, Bernard King, Patrick Ewing,
Jalen Brunson is. I'm taking Jalen Brunson over all of them. I'm taking Jalen Brunson over all of them.
That's I can't wait until 10, 15 years from now when we have this discussion where we look at the totality because
Jalen Brunson is not done winning, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because he's not
winning. Knicks are not winning again. You know why he's different?
Jalen Brunson is not done.
Hey, I forgot to mention
this. If Jalen Brunson wins one more, you're going to be. Matter of fact, let's do this.
If he wins one more, then we could talk about it.
Hold on.
Is bigger than one.
Because you just said he's not going to win another one. All right.
I don't think so.
Let's do this. At the end of Jalen Brunson's career, the day he retires, one of us is going to eat a shoe. All right. If Jalen Brunson wins one more, you're eating a shoe. If he does not, I will eat a shoe.
A piece of a shoe, a whole shoe is crazy. But see, that's why I think like when you look at recency bias, man, I think it's such a thing because you even have people coming out saying, "Is this Knicks team may be a top 5 team of all time?" Where I'm like, "Come on, stop the nonsense."
Top 5, they won 13 straight. It's nuanced,
but
you hear stuff, and you go to this extreme. You don't take time to sit back and look at the merits of what's being said. You just it's so emotional with you.
Because I know the
You
history
got a
of the
little Carl
game.
Thomas in you, man. You got a little
Tell me
Carl
this.
Thomas in you.
Shout out Carl Thomas. But tell me this, Elam. We're talking about top 5 greatest team. We got the Lakers that won 33 straight games in a regular season. They won the championship with Wilt, Jerry West, and those guys. We talking about the Shaq and Kobe Lakers who only lost one playoff game. You talk about the Bulls team that won 72-10 and won the finals. You're talking about the Celtics, one of those Celtics Larry Bird teams, the Celtics Bill Russell team, Showtime Lakers, right? We're talking about these teams, the Warriors with KD and Steph. Like, that's more than 5 right there. The Miami Heat with LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh in that group. Tim Duncan and the Spurs. Like, people are coming out saying, like, oh, yeah, because of recency bias, the Knicks are better than those teams. I'm like, are you kidding me? Somebody, shout out to Bill Simmons, right? Legend in the game. But he came out and said, yeah, I think I'm taking this Knicks team over Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili, and those guys. I said, are you kidding me? Like, that's why people have to slow down.
I think there might be some merit to that one. Because you got to think about it. And I'm going to tell you why. The Knicks have OG Anunoby. They got Josh Hart. You got Mykell Bridges. You have some wing defenders that would have been able to give Manu a problem. Now, where the Spurs have a clear advantage is Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is bodying Karl Anthony Towns. He's bodying Karl Anthony Towns. But who is stopping Big Body Brunson? Who's stopping him? Tony Parker? Not at all.
They're going to be able to throw Bruce Bowen, one of the greatest defenders, who gave Kobe and T-Mac and Bron.
Who's stopping
And then we're talking about Greg Popovich, who's going to coach the hell out of it. He ain't Mitch Johnson and going to let stuff happen. He's going to coach the hell out of that team to say, well, what are we taking away?
Now you're looking at X's and O's and not the Joes.
Yeah, but it's always about X. It's always about X's and O's when it comes to the highest form of basketball. And that's why I give a lot of credit to Mike Brown, because, of course, Jalen Brunson was great. But he came with a game plan. Hey, we're going to get everybody else rolling, right, first. And then when it's your time, Jalen, you're going to go. Like, that's a coach being able to coach up his guys. And he got the best out of it for this team. But just recency bias is an insane thing in sports. I call it a sickness because people just say anything when something new happens, right? That's like people I wasn't one of those guys, but like people when the Chiefs won their first one, Mahomes is better than Tom Brady. I'm like, come on, y'all. We have to slow the roll. He just won one. Let him continue to do it.
I hear what you're saying. All right.
I get to see. I got to see more.
I do believe recency bias is a plague that, besets the entire sports industry. But another insane sickness are the fans of the New York Knicks. Listen to me. 63 arrests after the Knicks win in Manhattan alone. They burned 5 buses. A teenager got shot. When you think about the fandom of everything that, there is with the Knicks, throwing eggs at Wemby, cussing people out, beating people up in Spurs jersey, is that fair or is that flagrant?
Of course it's flagrant, man. It's sports. You have to take a chill pill. Rest in peace of my pops, but that's what he used to say, right? I was somebody that, had a little temper when I played sports. Take a chill pill. You guys won. I never got that, Elam. When you win, why are you burning and tearing up stuff? You should just be celebrating, turning up, having a good time without causing
some people.
Yeah, man, that for some bad people, like, oh, yeah, I'm doing good in life. Let me go burn this car up that doesn't belong to me. If it's your car, you decide to put it on fire.
It's Gotham. It's the
Joker. We've seen it in all the, when the Lakers, I can remember being younger and seeing them first win with Shaq and Kobe, and people were burning up cars and flipping trucks, where I'm just like, I'm excited, but what makes you get to that level of excitement to do that? So to see 63 people, it would have been more poetic if it was 53, which would have been for the 53-year drought, which would have been like, whoa, like this this was meant to be. But I said they were the team of destiny. The New York Knicks fans haven't seen them win anything. Like a lot of kids weren't born when the Knicks won. Like they were just telling stories. It's kind of like a Cowboy 49er fan born in the year 2000, right? You're 26. Like, damn, I've never seen my team win a championship. So imagine those Knicks fans who were born and they're 50 years old and like, yo, I get to see this with my kids, maybe my grandkids. So I understand the just losing your mind and going nuts, but going that crazy leading to 63 arrests, that's kind of flagrant. Maybe flagrant on the fans and on the NYPD.
You know what's crazy is that I remember when the Eagles won a Super Bowl, you had dudes out there eating horse poop. Listen, this seems hella mild.
Philadelphia's nuts.
Listen, this seems particularly mild for New York, right? Only 63 people. There's like 13 million people that live in the city. Only 63 got arrested. I was shocked because I thought it would be thousands with as crazed as they are. And if you're talking about like fights and all that other type of stuff, listen, I can't take you with me to Europe to go watch any type of soccer because those dudes are ready to scrap after a win, after a loss. It doesn't matter. I think the Knicks fans are the closest thing that we have to like European fandom, to like crazed, belligerent fans, right? And I wish Laker fans, I wish Dodger fans kind of are like you.
Laker fans are a little bit.
No, they're not. Laker fans are
only when we're winning. Only when we're like
Laker fans are not standing up like Knicks fans. Laker fans are not outside of Staples Center throwing eggs at buses and terrorizing, opposing
the real fans. The real fans have been priced out, and like just
you can still go to the opposing team's hotel and make things difficult, play music, pull fire alarms.
LAPD ain't don't move like that, bro. They ain't trying to allow none of that happen in downtown LA. It's been too many situations. And then you got to think
NYPD is just as bad, if not worse, than LAPD. And you see those fans did not care. They were showing up. They were raucous. But even more than that, I'm not even talking about things that happen outside of the arena, which, some good, some bad. But I'm looking at what happened when they got inside the arena. They stood up. They cheered for like 80% of the game. That's not happening at a Laker game. Cats are waiting until the fourth quarter, particularly the last 5 minutes before they start standing up, before they start yelling. These Knicks fans, I think, is a case study of what fandom needs to look like in America. Granted, 63 people getting arrested, those are the outliers. 13 million people in the city, 63 people getting arrested, those are outliers. But the exception, right? The rule of being a fan, I think, needs to typify what the Knicks embody. They are going to make you uncomfortable. They are belligerent. They don't care. They in your face. They're obnoxious. They're loud. And as somebody who is a true fan, I love it.
No, yeah, and you gotta, you have to show love, but you gotta remember, like when you compare like the Lakers, it's hard to compare anybody to the Lakers fans because, bro, we're spoiled. Like think about since 1979, how many championships we've seen. So not only are we spoiled, the cops are well prepared. Like, all right, we've seen them win 5 championships being, playing inside the Staples. So we know where to line up. We know where to be because they're going to go a little crazy. Let's contain it. For New York, the reason why it was total mayhem, they have never seen this in the modern era of basketball. So they're like, yo, we don't know where people are going to be, where people are going to show up. So the fans went crazy. But I do love the energy. It gives you soccer vibes, man. And, it's the perfect segue for what we're going to, because FIFA, the World Cup is here in the United States. It's here at SoFi. It's been some great games. My boy Elam, you were at the Fan Fest, right? To have people showing up to the LA Coliseums. So I want you to just walk people through what you were able to see there at the LA Coliseum for this Fan Fest.
Man, listen to me. It is a marvel. You remember in 2000 when the Lakers won the championship and all of Figueroa and the Coliseum and inside the
Yeah,
Coliseum was
yeah.
full? That's what FanFest was. And I'm talking
Okay.
about people from everywhere. Korea, Peru, Bora Bora. Like you got some real life soccer supporters. They're not even called
What up,
fans,
Treese?
supporters.
Hey, shout out DJ Treese Treese. She up in the chat saying, "Yo, what up, Misfits? What's good with the Treese? Hey, we're gonna have to get you on so we can talk some sparks, baby. You know we bring that here. But I know you've been tapping into some World Cup, and that's what my guy Elam is talking about. So, Key, you got it, E.
Yeah, but you see the kits, the jerseys from all over, all countries represented. And when I tell you, have you been to a LAFC? Have you had to cover an LAFC game?
No, I haven't. Like I've been to a Galaxy
Listen to
game
me.
though, and
So
you
you
know
got
Galaxy is going
at the
crazy.
Galaxy game, they got the section of supporters where it's like they singing, they chanting, the entire time. That's what FanFest is. I'm talking about raucous. You got drums, you got people chanting. I'm learning players' names that I didn't even know existed. It's such a marvel, dude. And I gotta call you out because had you filled out the little FanFest thing that when I told you to, we would have been in there together. But listen to me, the Olympics, don't drop the ball, bro. When I send you the credential thing, the credential portal, don't drop the ball.
Oh yeah.
This is something that you have to see for yourself.
I want to mention like when it comes to the World Cup and what I think makes it so special, even when compared to the Olympics, right? We know the Olympics is all world, so many countries, and it's really dope. But it's so many different games and so many different sports being played that you don't know which way to go. What makes the World Cup so special is that it's just one sport, and it's football. I ain't even gonna call it soccer. Shout out to Tracy Treese in the chat. She said she calling it football now. She's a fan. So it's just football. So that's all you get to focus on for these countries, and to see the pride that people have, come with when it comes to just seeing people walk in the city of LA, right? Going to like different bars and things like that to watch a game, to watch the games on TV, to see the people showing out inside of these stadiums. It just shows you why the World Cup is so special and why there's nothing like it. I know with basketball, they're trying to get the world championships to be something like it, but it's just soccer is truly the
biggest.
Never
be like this. It'll never
soccer
be like
is the biggest sport in the world. Football, excuse me, is the biggest sport in the world, and everybody wants to see it and be a part of it. And you have these big names like Mbappe coming out and scoring 2 goals in his first game, Messi scoring and his game. I can't wait to see Cristiano play with Portugal and things like that. Like the timing of it is perfect because now you only focus on this one sport. Imagine the NBA is done. The NFL hasn't got started yet. They're only competing with baseball, which is in the middle of their season where people haven't really put all their attention there yet. So the timing of it is perfect. And it's the fact that these people get to represent their countries. I don't know, man. I don't know which side to go. I don't know if I should lean towards Team USA or go towards my last namesake and rock with France and what Mbappe and them is doing. But you got to be turned up, man, watching these games.
Listen, I gotta go with the home team. It's stuff like this that make me hella patriotic. It's USA. I know we're not going to win, but for the day that USA is able to win, listen, I'm gonna be out there, and I might be the 64th person. You know what I'm saying, that makes the news because it's gonna be a spectacle, and I'm gonna lose my mind. Like I'm out there with no shirt, greased up, like I'm trying to climb a pole. Listen, I'm going to lose my mind. But
after the Knicks winning, Elam, I feel anything can happen. So Team USA, there's a possibility.
You got to pick a side now. You got to pick a side now. I'm not going to let you play both sides. But this is the thing. Players make their money for their club teams, right? You play for your club. You play for a chance to win a title. But the World Cup, like the Olympics, only happens every 4 years. And this is where you become a legend. Pele, Maradona. I think I'm saying his name right. Maradona.
Madrona.
No, it's not Madrona. The dude from Argentina.
Yeah, from Argentina.
Maradona. It's Maradona. It's Maradona. It's not Madrona. It's Maradona. Maradona. When you think of Pele, when you think of Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, people cut their teeth showing their skill at the highest level at the World Cup. It's special, man. I remember when the World Cup was here in what, 96? Like, I was like, yo, I didn't know the game. Like, I got one from the World Cup at the convention center, went home and was kicking the ball against the wall, you know, and I'm like trying to do all the stuff that I see. But like now that I'm older, I'm able to fully understand and grasp the meaning, the severity of this moment, man. Like, it's such a beautiful thing. And the crazy part was, man, I was watching not Portugal, Iran play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much going on, like politically, that made that game like stand out.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a beautiful moment, man. It's such a, and you know, I'm a politics and sports guy. It's beautiful.
Hey, shout out to Tree. She said she rolling with Mexico because it used to be, you know, they used to have Mexico used to have SoCal, so she's gonna go there. So if she gonna roll like that, I think I'm gonna go France, bro. I'm gonna have to go get me a France jersey, throw that last name on the back. People gonna be like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, yes, my last name is French, baby. So I think I'm gonna go with Team France. But it's just, I just love this moment, man, because shout out to Colombia as well. You know, I got to show love that way. But I just love this moment because you see this type of pride like no other. Because, you know, when you think about it, NFL, right? A lot of people, you know, got a friend group of the same teams that you love. With the NBA, right? We're Laker fans. We know a lot of Laker fans. Right now, it just comes down to your country, the place that you got coaching from, where you was born and raised, and you just really give all your pride there. I'm gonna go to an event on the 27th. That's gonna be a lot of that. It's Colombia versus Portugal. It's a big park that's, you know, they opened up a space for, you know, the Colombian fans, like, just so I can feel that energy, man. It's just like, it'll be crazy if America make a run, but I don't know, man. But it's just dope that it hit LA. And it's pretty cool.
You going with France? Of course, I said I'm rocking the home team, but I'm gonna make my choice right now of who I have winning the entire thing.
Who you got?
They speak Spanish, but it ain't Mexico. It's Spain.
Spain,
I don't know if you know about
that.
this kid. I don't know if you know this kid, Yamal, but dude, like 16, 17, and is arguably a top 4, top 5 player today. And the Spain is deep. You still got Messi in Argentina. I think they're the favorites to win.
Hey,
Mbappe
shout out to Messi. Hey, shout out to Messi. That man had a hat trick. 3 goals, 17 minutes, 60 minutes, 76 minutes. They win.
The GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
Special,
like,
bro.
People talk about Ronaldo being the GOAT. No, Messi is that dude. But the future of the game of football, man, is beautiful. You got him, you know, Kylian Mbappe. You got Yamal. You have a lot of young talent that's coming up, man. So, hey, if you haven't tuned in, there is nothing like watching the game of soccer. It's 90 minutes, 2 45-minute halves, and every minute matters. Every minute matters. And at any given moment, a goal can be scored, and there's no guarantee that the opposing team is going to be able to score one. So everything matters, especially right now in the group stage where point differential is going to be able to determine who goes to the knockout stage. I know Cat is rooting for Colombia, but Colombia is going to have a short trip home.
Hey, man, maybe they might have a long road ahead. But, hey, we thank everybody that's tapping in with us. The Misfits Live, Mykell, Mathieu, DPG, 5-star, Eric Lambkins is second. we got some more dope things to talk about. Make sure that you guys who are tapped in with us live to stay on stream, because we're going to also be back with the next show, TSC Today, with our guys, Grant, Arash Markazi. I believe our guy Beeve is going to join tonight. So, I hope you guys ready for that. But here with the Misfits, right, a lot of people like to sugarcoat things and talk about the easy subjects to talk about, right? But here we like to talk about it all. We said it at the beginning of the show. Entertainment, culture. We talk music, politics. We'll throw that in. And then we'll even talk about stuff that deals with the biblical, things of the world. And we got to talk about Elam, the MLB. They warned 3 San Francisco Giants who put a Bible verse on their pride hats. I have my thoughts about this. When I saw this, I couldn't believe it. But I'd love to hear what you feel about this topic.
You know what? This isn't something that's new. I know Clayton Kershaw, he would do it. A lot of Dodger players, they would do it. So this isn't something that's new to me, but to see the response that the MLB has given them, I think that right there needs to be, special attention needs to be paid to that, because you have people who have their strong religious, convictions, and it's like, hey, they don't support this, but you are making them, wear something that they don't support. And so, in their way of protesting, of exercising their First Amendment, and I'm a free speech absolutist. It don't matter if I agree with your speech or not. We lauded Colin Kaepernick for doing the same exact thing, right? For taking a stand for something that he believed in. And you had a cross-section of people who got behind Colin. I got to call it down the middle. Do I agree with, writing a Bible verse? Personally, as a Christian, as a believer, I don't see anything wrong with it. That's me, espousing my own personal belief. But it's crazy for me, at least how I see it. It's crazy to see people who supported Colin opposed to this, and then I see people who are opposed to Colin Kaepernick supporting this. And I just think it's a whole bunch of hypocrisy, when you take positions like that, where you support one camp, but disparage and despise the other. It's like, if you agree with people, exercising their free speech, like, you got to support it across the board. You can't cherry pick. You can't pick and choose. What are your thoughts?
No, I just feel we had plenty of discussions about this before. Something that I'm big on and really want to do, which is, reclaim the rainbow, which, Pride Night, Pride Month, right? That's what's going on. Respect to it. For those who, believe in that and they follow along with that, that's for them. But to try to force everyone to have to follow this, it's like trying to force everybody to have to believe in a certain religion, or everybody having to believe in certain political party and things like that. I just think that's the wrong thing to do. So if these guys who are, born again Christians decide, hey, I want to write scriptures on my hat. Maybe the scriptures is I wasn't sure what the scriptures were, but if they took it to Exodus and talked about the rainbow and things like that, why it even occurred, like, I think that's pretty dope. And I don't know why it's a big idea. And I do understand, I'm not going to be dumb and naive. I do understand that, certain parties you don't want to try to go offend for your career, but at the same time, is there freedom of speech or is there not freedom of speech? Because at the end of the day, we all don't believe in the same things, right? Like, people can respect who you are, your lifestyle, but don't mean that they have to say, I'm living for this and I agree with it, right? Most people, right, in affluent neighborhoods are going to look at gangbangers and be like, yo, that is ignorant, that's dumb, they need to stop that, and things like that. So why can't somebody say, huh? No, it is. And I agree with that. Yeah. And I agree with that. And that's why I tell people, like, I don't agree with that lifestyle, just like I may not agree with another lifestyle, but it's all love either way that it goes. So, You know, it's just something that I don't think that we should be forcing people. If somebody say, hey, I hate watermelons, right, or bananas, you don't come out and say, nah, you have to support the watermelons and bananas because it's watermelon and banana night. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to draw some grapes on your head, so be it, right? That is their choice, and that's what we have to rock with. And that's why I'm not liking what the standard that MLB is showing right now, because think about
I know what
religion.
the argument. I know what the counter argument is, right? You have people who have been admonished. You have people who have been killed. You have people who have been oppressed in the country. You know what I'm saying? Or not even in the country, around the world, because there are still some parts of Africa and in the Caribbean. You know, if you're found out to be a part of the LGBT community, they'll put a tire around you and set it on fire. You know, or in some Arab countries, they'll throw you off a roof. So people are actively being persecuted. So I get in why a night like this is important, right? It's for visibility. It's for people, to feel accepted. It's to make things mainstream, because at one point in time, people, didn't want black people playing in the MLB. And so when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, it was a monumental moment, and it pushed society forward. With Pride Night, and with respects to the LGBT plus community, they're asking and lobbying and championing for the same amount of respect, right? To have their humanity acknowledged. I believe that you could have your humanity acknowledged. When I learned about Bayard Rustin, right, and how Bayard Rustin, his March on Washington was his brainchild, I didn't know that, right? And so that compelled me to go learn about Harvey Milk and a ton of other, LGBT activists. So much of the contributions of the LGBT community have been withheld, and I understand why, it's important to have them included in the overall, I guess, portrait of America, right? America is a melting pot of many different peoples, and it's impossible to tell the story of America without including the LGBT community. So for that in and of itself, yes, okay, hey, let's take a time to acknowledge and celebrate the accomplishments of people in that community. Where I think I diverge is for the MLB taking a stand and saying, hey, exercising your First Amendment right in writing a Bible verse, you're going to be punished for that, because now I have to begin to parse things, right? Either politics is not going to be in sports, which means we're going to end the national anthem, or we're going to allow players to express themselves freely and openly, right? If we are asking for an all-inclusive environment, then let's ask for an all-inclusive environment. I know the Dodgers have a Christian day, right? They have a day where people who are Christians can come to the park and they can hear gospel music, right? We don't chastise and vilify any player who says, hey, I'm Muslim, I don't want to,
that's what I was going to bring up.
That's okay, right? Like we are respectful. And that's my thing, man. Like, just because people have conflicting beliefs, that doesn't mean we gotta hate one another. You can disagree with aspects and parts of my life and still love me, and vice versa.
That part.
So for me, I'm all about, if we're going to include everybody, let's include everybody. If you want to express yourself or not express yourself in a certain fashion, I'm okay with that. And so for me, my problem more or less is with the MLB's assault on the First Amendment. Like, period, point
freedom.
My beliefs are my beliefs.
No, facts. Yeah. And I don't expect everybody to believe what I believe, just like I don't believe what everybody else believe, right? And that can be as simple as parenting. You know what I'm saying? That can be as far as diet and all that stuff. What makes us human is because we all aren't the same, and we all have our disagreements and agreements and things like that. When you try to force people to have to do something and agree to something, that's when I'm kind of like, hey, we may need to, we may need to do something different with that, because that kind of seems unfair, and that's when it becomes a problem, man. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna have more discussions on this topic, and I can't wait. Maybe bring some guests in, Elam, that maybe have some opinions for us to listen to, and I can't wait to do it. But let's take everybody to DC, right? There was a big moment there at the White House, the UFC in the White House. I don't know how you feel, Elam. When I saw it and heard about it, I was like, yo, this is dope, right? To bring the octagon to the White House is I think is really, really cool, right? The event was you know what I'm saying? I wish it was some bigger names, some bigger fights. But I think it's cool. Like, I would love to see maybe an outdoor basketball. Didn't they have an outdoor basketball game on a college basketball on a military boat? Why not have a game right out there in front of the White House? I think that more sporting events at the White House that could be there would be really cool. But what was your thoughts on this? I thought it was dope.
I'm hella consistent, man. I'm hella consistent. A, I don't mind it, but B, like, for the whole keep politics out of sports crowd, this is the epitome of including politics in sports. To have a basketball game on the military boat, politics, sports. To have a UFC event on the White House lawn, it doesn't get any more political. And if you look at the freaking lineup, the card, you got cats like Josh Hockett, who after they win and make comments that Michelle Obama is a man, like, you're getting into politics. Like the one part, again, the cross section of our society says, hey, when I go to an NFL game, like, stand up for the national anthem. But then you turn around and the president is having a UFC event. He's hosting fights on the White House lawn, and then you have a fighter who is making comments. To me, they're disparaging. But you have a fighter making comments on a former first lady. That is political speech. That is the combination of politics and sports. So you can't have it both ways. Either you want to include it or you want to exclude it. But don't pick and choose. Don't cherry pick. And again, I don't believe anything that Josh Hockett says. I don't believe anything that President Trump says. But guess what? I live in a country where I don't have to. We're not living in North Korea. Last time I checked, nobody is forcing us to take a picture of President Trump in our home. There are some nations where you have to, where you cannot, speak out against the government. We don't live in that nation. Now, do I believe we're heading towards it? I do believe we're heading towards authoritarianism. And I feel as though, as a sports writer, I often think about the rise of the Third Reich in Nazi Germany and the role that sports writers played and did not play, because the writing on the wall was always there. But people said, what? Let's keep our politics separate from our sports. And it gave rise to, a painter from Germany who, had a Napoleon complex. He was getting ready to try to take over the world, and had some things, been different. You and I, A, wouldn't have been here, or B, we'd be speaking German. So, yeah.
Hey, that part, yeah. And like you said, is politics going to be a part of sports or not? And that's what we have to decide. Yes, I wasn't a fan of what is it, Hockett said.
Josh
Hockett, Josh Hockett said, but hey, it is what it is, right? We listen to rap music. They say a lot of crazy things, right? And it's just their freedom of speech and having a voice. It's stuff here that you're going to hear on the Misfits that you're going to be like, what the hell are these guys talking about? but it is us exercising our freedom of speech and speaking our mind. And I'm somebody who, I like to look around politics. To me, politics, everything with politics is crazy, right? I'm just trying to see the sports aspect of it. And that's why watching, UFC on the White House lawn was just a really dope moment. Hopefully we see it again with bigger. Now, I would love to see a boxing event there with some bigger names that'll really have people tuning in to watch. But, that was just a cool moment. I know
but
with hockey,
everything you do, the food that you eat, the clothes that you wear, every decision that you make is a political expression, whether you realize it or not.
When you go and get that fried chicken, or you go and get you some Indian food or some Peruvian food,
go to Whole
whatever.
Foods, and the farmers market,
So it just is what it is. But I enjoyed it. Hopefully we see more. I know a lot of it is people don't like Trump, so whatever he do, it comes with a critique, right? He comes to the NBA Finals game, it comes with a critique, right? But if you're somebody who's like, man, I'm not trying to look too deep into it, I'm trying to enjoy sports. I was a fan of the president showing up to the NBA Finals game. I was a fan of, the White House line having UFC there. Hell, Treacy Trees, wouldn't you love to see the Sparks versus the Washington Mystics on the front line of the White House? Wouldn't that be legendary for those ladies to be able to play there? Like, I think things like that will be top notch. I know Treacy Tree said that was ghetto, but we live in a ghetto country. The United States is ghetto. People have to come to realize that this is a ghetto country. We do a lot of ghetto things. We fight in ghetto wars, and that's just what it is. So if you're going to do it, let's see more of it. Let's see WNBA there, maybe an NBA game there, like something like, can you imagine if Obama was in the office and he had the Lakers versus the Chicago Bulls?
And that would have been epic. Said that. I'm glad you said that, because the backlash would have been he's diminishing the role of the presidency and what the White House is supposed to be, right? The White House is supposed to be this pristine, this place of decorum and so on and so forth, right? And when you have events like this, people are going to critique you and say, hey, you're diminishing the role. I kind of see it this way. Like, to have a UFC event with the spectacle that it was, it's like, yo, dog, is this not the White House? If it is, we shouldn't be having this here. And so, and what's crazy, and shout out to Tracy Trees, she said Obama wore a tan suit and they lost their mind. Again, anything contrary to what has been, somebody's going to have something negative to say. And if Tiger Woods, if Barack Obama would have said, hey, I'm going to have Tiger Woods put a green, in the White House, in the Rose Garden, right? Like, people would have said, oh, what are they going to do? Serve fried chicken and blah, 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 blah. Like, it would have been a problem. And so my thing is just consistency. Don't laud and applaud it because your guy is in office, and then vilify somebody
when the next guy is in office.
End of the, political spectrum, you're gonna vilify any and everything that he does. It's like, be consistent. Either you're cool with this across the board, or you're not cool with it across the board. And like I said, for me, the White House is supposed to represent elegance and
greatness,
power, and decision maker and decorum. Hosting an sporting event is the antithesis of that. It got nothing and I love to fight. Don't get it twisted. I love watching fights. I love to fight. I love watching fights. I just don't think the White House is the appropriate place to be hosting fights.
Yeah.
And so somebody let heads of state, let the leader of Iran come to America and square up with Donald Trump. That's something that I will pay for. That's something that I would be excited to see.
Never. And that take it back in the day, man. And let the rulers fight it out.
Hey, Me and you always talking about 30-second fades. Listen, I think heads of state should run fades, opposed to sending kids to war, you know, where they have to die for the interests of corporations. Hey, you got a problem? You got a problem with me? All right, cool. Where you from? You from Iran? You over there? Whoever wins this gets to decide what happens with the Strait of Hormuz.
It is going to be on the Misfits card. We can host it. The Misfits Live are there, and we're going to host the fades for all of the world. And we're going to have the top countries.
Any podcaster around the world, if you got a problem with the Misfits, come holla at me.
That part. Hey, we ready to go. Elam, this other topic, I'm going to save it. I want to get a panel together and maybe do a special episode where we talk about it. I have DJ Tracy Treese on, some others to talk about it. So that's all we're going to give you today. Like I said, be back with us. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we're going to be live. Your favorite Misfits, the PG Mykell Mathieu, 5-star Eric Lambkins, the second. We are going to be on TSC today with Grant Mona, Ross Markazi, and our guy Demetrius Beaver, who we call Beeve, to give you more sports take. Elam, I think they want us to talk about some Clippers with the NBA draft coming up next. So we got to get ourselves prepared for that, man. I know. But we thank everyone. Yeah, take us out of here.
But we are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. Listen, we going to talk about things, whether you love it or hate it, agree or disagree. You're here. You're engaged. And that's what we're here for, to engage with you. So by all means, like, subscribe, comment under any video that we have. Comment here in the chat. We're here for you. We're here to engage. So until next week, find somebody that you disagree with. Sit down with them. Have a conversation. Do something new. Challenge yourself, right? Get outside your little thoughts.
You know what that sounds like, E? That sounds like you guys need to be a misfit. Do be different. There's nothing wrong with being that. And people are going to hate you and love you. And that's the beauty of it all, of being a misfit. So to all of our fellow misfits, we love you guys. We'll be back next week. More World Cup talk, getting you ready for the NBA draft, getting closer to the NFL, which is always fun. And whatever craziness this country or world may bring, we have you covered here with the Misfits Live and the Sporting Tribune. Remember, give us a follow, the Misfits Live Instagram page, myself, Mykell the PG on Instagram and X. My guy Elam Squared. Elam, tell them the socials.
You can find me, just type in Eric Lambkins on X, TikTok, Instagram. You can find his work, Mykell Mathieu, MLB Bros, fi360.com, the Culver City Observer, and here on the Sporting Tribune. You can catch my work on fi360, the Culver City Observer, and here on the Sporting Tribune. Until next week, we out of here. Peace.